Welcome back, Odooers. Today we're talking about subcontracting, which is the practice of outsourcing a part of your work. Here at Stealthywood, we don't always have the capacity, scale, or expertise to manufacture every product ourselves. So we subcontract the production of our chairs to a manufacturer specializing in furniture. By subcontracting production, we can focus on selling and delivering products. In this video, we're going to be focusing on basic subcontracting, where our subcontractor handles the whole manufacturing process, including sourcing their own components. Here's a breakdown. A customer orders a chair. We don't manufacture this product, so we place a purchase order for the chair. Then our subcontractor sources the components, manufactures the chair, and delivers it to us. We don't have to manage production. Our role is to keep track of the order and receive the finished product. Now, before we start, make sure you have the manufacturing app, the purchase app, and inventory app installed. Alrighty, let's jump in and see how this works. So here I am in the main manufacturing app dashboard. First, let's check some settings by going to configuration and then settings. Alright, I need to enable this subcontracting over here, but we've already done so to save you time. And once you have it all done and selected, select save in the top left hand corner, and now you're ready to configure your lounge chair. Okay, so first we're going to need a vendor price list to create a purchase order for our subcontracted chair. So let's find our chair by going back to the main dashboard over here, and this time around we're going to open up the inventory app. So we're going to navigate over to products and then products once again. We're going to scroll down and there's the lounge chair and we're going to click it. There it is. So as you can see, we already have some details configured here. Let's click our purchase tab because we're going to be configuring even more. All right, this is where our vendor price list is going to live. We're going to add our subcontractor by selecting add a line right there. All right, for this vendor line, we're going to select open wood. Perfect. We're going to specify the quantity over here, and this is going to be 1. The unit price is $2.99. Now with subcontracting, this lead time field that we have over here, it represents the total amount of time it's going to take for the subcontractor to manufacture the product and deliver the finished product to us. In this case, we estimate that it's going to take around 30 days for manufacturing and an additional 15 days for delivery. So through basic math, it is 45 days total. So we're going to enter 45. And want to know something cool and see something cool? Like automating our workflow? Well, if we go to the inventory tab over here, we could click on this MTO route, replenish on order, and that automatically initiates a purchase order from a sales order. That means that when a customer places an order for our lounge chair, Odoo automatically creates a purchase order for the chair. But today, we're just focusing on manually creating a purchase order. Anyways, now it's time to tell Odoo what to do with our product. To subcontract our lounge chair, we need to create a bill of materials or BOM. First, click the bill of materials smart button up at the top and then select new. Great. Now you see this subcontracting option over here under BOM type. This option appears when we enabled the subcontracting feature in the settings earlier. As soon as we click it, boom, you'll notice we have another field with a drop-down menu. Inside of here, we can add as many subcontractors as needed. For our case, we're going to select open wood because they're the ones that we set up earlier. So this subcontracting BOM is what tells Odoo that production should be performed by a subcontractor rather than internally. Again, since we don't have to worry about supplying any components in basic subcontracting, there's no need to add any components down here. We just need a bill of materials and an assigned subcontractor. Okay, so with all of our configurations done, let's kickstart our subcontracting workflow by creating a purchase order for this product. So to do this, let's go back to our homepage. We're going to open up the purchase application. Now we're going to select new over in the top left-hand corner to open a new request for quotation, or RFQ for my acronym lovers. All right, so let's set the vendor field over here to our subcontractor. Open wood. Perfect. Of course, we also need to add our product by clicking add a product down here below inside of our nice little product lines. Which one was it again? Nice little lounge chair right there. All right, now notice that the expected arrival date over here, it updates with the lead time that we configured in the vendor price list earlier, and isn't that nice? All right, so everything looks good. So to finish this PO, we're gonna select confirm order up at the top. Now we have a receipt smart button over here. We can click it, or we can click our receive button over here. This will bring us to the receipt that we're going to validate to physically receive the finished product from our subcontractor, Openwood. But for now, we don't have to do anything. All right, let's pretend it's been, in this case, looking at my watch/calendar, pretend with me, it's been 40 days and Openwood has delivered our lounge chair to us. Now we have to receive it into the stock. So to do that, we're going to select our receipt smart button over here. This took us over to the receipt. Then we're going to select the validate button right there to receive our finished product into stock. So if we wanted to, we could click on this source PO smart button to go back to our purchase order and verify we received 1 unit of our lounge chair right there. Now we can fulfill our customer's order. There you have it, Odooers. We learned how to configure a subcontracted product, create a purchase order for a subcontractor, and receive the finished product back into inventory. Thanks for watching. I'm going to see you in the next video.